Dennis, let me start with you. I mean, $100,000 to the girlfriend. She's out of the country. What do you think about that? What does that mean to you?
Well, just the one wire by itself, I really can't, I don't know what that would mean.
Seems like a lot of money, doesn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely a lot of money. And the question is that a one-off transaction, or is that something he's done in the past? So was the money specifically wired to her? Obviously, she's being interviewed now, and one of the things I'd be asking is what was the nature of that wire? What did she know about it? What was the intent for the money?
Yeah. Joseph, I have a lot of questions about why the gunman himself had so much money. Say he was listed as a mailman at one point, he was an accountant, but now he's a multimillionaire. He has this much money to throw around, other people accepting the idea that he was winning all that money in the casinos. Anybody who's been to Vegas knows, I mean, there's an algorithm, there's a method to that madness, and it's that the house wins. You don't end up a millionaire. That story does not add up to me. Does it raise red flags for you?
Well, certainly. I mean, in the old investigative maxim, follow the money, right? So the investigators are going to be doing that because they don't have a motive. They don't have anything that's right in front of them. I mean, he was involved in a little bit of real estate. There was an article today that said his mother was involved in the stock market, too. So, I mean, he might have gotten some of this legitimately. I mean, we don't know for sure yet, but I think investigators are on that trail now with the money, and they're going to figure out exactly what he's up to.
Yeah, Dennis, I mean, you know, his dad was a bank robber. If he inherited money from his dad, I mean, that's not, he wasn't a stock market investor. I mean, to me, the money side of this smells very fishy. What's your take?
Oh, yeah, that would be one of the things I would be looking at. I'd have investigators trying to determine the source of his funds, the legitimacy of the funds, and you know, a whole pattern of activity. One of the things I'd be looking at also is I'd be building a timeline back from the point he was killed, back as far as I can, because obviously this was well planned, and I would be following the money and building financial leads to help me establish his planning. And you know, how often did he go to the Mandalay Bay? How often did he go to other casinos? And so, you know, how did he come to pick the Mandalay Bay and that floor? And so the pattern of activity of his stays will help answer some of those questions.
Yeah. Some of the reports that came out today, some of the new details that are out there, is the idea that he had ammonium nitrate in the back of his car, and that there are details that indicate he had been planning this for more than a month. You know, Joseph, what does that mean to you? How do you interpret those things? What's significant there?
Yeah, this is, you know, Timothy McVeigh in Oklahoma City, so we have to start looking into that. But they also found bullet-resistant vests and the like. So I think they said they found other type of explosives, or at least detonators for a device. So we haven't gotten the full search warrant list yet, and when we do, I think we might even be more surprised. I think there was a bigger plan here. I think that while he was there, because remember, he was there for a couple of days, and I think he watched this concert go over a couple of days, and I think he realized that this was an easier target for what he was planning on doing.
And Dennis, I mean, obviously, what is so baffling to everybody right now is we have no indication of motive.
Right. Right, and one of the things, again, from a financial perspective, I would be doing is I'd be going back and again, putting a chronology together as far back as I can. I would have to think that this was in the planning process for well over a month, and probably a lot longer than that. And I'd want to see if I could determine from a financial investigative standpoint, were there changes in his patterns of activity, and can that help us identify at a point in time when he was changing, and were there warning signs about the change in his attitude, or in the fact that he was planning such a horrendous event.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, thank you.